I'm with Steve, new franchise partner at ISI, looking for 8 territories.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Tell me a little bit about your background. Like,
Sure.
Who are you? You're young,
Yep.
right? Why ISI? Why business ownership? Just
Sure.
tell me a little bit about you.
So I'm 26 years old. I'm from New York. I currently do construction management for a family company up in New York City. There's not a lot of health and fitness rah-rah in that company or in the construction industry at all. And I have a really big passion for it. And I really wanted to see how I could implement my passion with my work. And I think this is the perfect combination. And I think ISI is really, really awesome because the energy you feel when you do a session is almost undescribable. And I think it's so cool to be a part of this. And the amount of opportunity that I think ISI has, especially in the territory that I'm going to be pursuing, I think is the sky's the limit. So I'm really excited for it.
Awesome. So, 26 years old, your parents are investing in this with you, right? What does that mean to you to have kind of the support of your family behind you?
It's everything, because without them, I wouldn't have the mindset to do what I'm doing. And I'm honestly very thankful that they trust me in order to invest with me and in me. And I'm grateful.
Yeah. Awesome. So, again, I'm going to keep saying a 26-year-old, right? Because you don't see that a lot, right? But as a 26-year-old, you're going to be called to lead a business, right? Walk me through kind of what is your mindset around like leading other people during this? Like, how do you want to lead? What kind of leader do you want to be?
So to kind of preface that, I work for a family business. I work for my dad and my uncles. So having looked up to my dad my entire life, he's one of my heroes. He's the gold standard for what a man should be, what a boss should be, and how you should act as a man and a leader. And seeing him in a business setting over the last couple of years, I've really learned how to properly lead respectfully, effectively, and without crossing any lines, while keeping relationships good. And treating everybody like family and including everyone in decisions to an extent.
Yeah.
And I've had him for coaching when I was younger. So I learned a lot of discipline and just how to lead from a very young age. I've been captains of all my sports teams. When I was in camp, I was captain of the color wars. And I've been trusted with some responsibilities in my current job that a typical 26-year-old would not be trusted with. So you kind of just have to figure it out and learn and go and ask questions when you need to. And just being a team player for when it comes down to being a leader, sometimes you have to, protect your employees, protect your team. So I'm willing to, take a bullet.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about kind of the process of you learning about ISI, getting a little bit more into the business, right? Getting the presentations, coming to meet the team day. Like, tell me a little bit about that. How did that help you make a decision? How did that help you overcome a fear that you may have had?
Sure. I don't know if I was very scared. It was fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
But once I got here and I met Adam, Amanda, I met yourself, I met the whole corporate team, their energy was just so through the roof. And I really enjoyed the vibes that I was experiencing. And once I got comfortable with them and I was able to really listen to what they had to say and what their mission was, I was almost hooked from the start. And I had never done an ISI session before I got down here. So I was already into it before I even experienced it. And then I experienced that feeling, that euphoria when you're in a session. And I was like, all right, let's go. I'm ready.
Yeah. So did you have any kind of stress coming down here, and anything like that where you're like, I'm not sure, like, I know I want to open a business. I know I want it to be in the fitness industry, but like, is ISI the one? Right.
I don't know if I had any stress about that. I had a little bit of, not anxiety, but I was just thinking about all of these other potential franchise partners and now franchise partners how they've had previous businesses before where they've been leading people, they've invested time and money into it, and how they have some experience with that, and how I have close to none, or basically none, and just being in the seat of listening, just ears open, mouth shut, and just listening was a little. I had to plan for that because I like taking part in the conversations, but I know that I don't really have much to offer at this point, and I've been enjoying listening to all of these people who have experiences with other businesses, hearing their ideas about what they want for their facilities and how I could sort of use their ideas also.
So kind of getting that, especially from training, from Meet the Team Day, like getting that education of like, I mean, that's why you buy into a franchise, right? Is that there's already systems in place, and there's marketing, and there's operations, and there's all of this stuff kind of for you where you don't have to figure it out or kind of create it on your own, right? Talk a little bit to me about how becoming a franchise partner with ISI like is going to help you grow like personally. Like, what are you looking to get out of becoming a business owner?
I think I'm really looking forward to leading a group of people, and then eventually several groups of people, while keeping ISI's core values intact, and while making sure that my team understands them. Not putting my own twist on it, but also implementing my core values on top of them, so that everybody's on the same page and everybody knows how to properly communicate with one another, with the members, with me. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to being my own boss. I love working for my dad. I love working for my uncles, but at the same time, I'm excited for working for myself.
What advice would you give to somebody at your age to say, hey, if you've got the support, right, and you've got the means, like, do it. You know, what kind of advice would you give?
I would simply say risk it, because if you don't risk it, you're not going to get any reward, risk reward. If you can, and you're passionate about it, and you could see yourself being successful both, financially and, developmentally, I think you have to push yourself to get comfortable being uncomfortable and go and do it.
Awesome. That's one of our taglines here, right? Yeah, be uncomfortable, right? So what is, long-term vision, owning your own business, becoming that entrepreneur opens up this level of like freedom, right? So what does that mean to you? Like ultimately, you want to go from one location to 8, right? That's kind of like the goal is to go to 8 and really own that Boca market. Area. But what does that freedom look like to you kind of at the end of the day?
Sure. Financial freedom, I mean, that's a given for me, being able to just, and not even just for myself, like, I think that more applies to being able to go places and specifically see my family, because I'm moving down to Florida while they're still based in New York. So being able to see, and New Jersey, so being able to go and see them, and eventually when I have a family, being able to bring my family to see them, I think that's a big driver for me.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I want to circle back again, just back to your family, back to your dad, because I mean, we were able to meet him, right, when you guys came to Meet the Team Day. Definitely, from this experience, he has like the faith in you, right, obviously, and you've learned a lot from him. But what is that going to look like, maybe on a day-to-day basis, or like how involved are they going to be, right? Sure. Are they just sitting back rooting you on, or like what is that going to look like?
I think you put it nicely. They're going to be sitting back rooting me on. At first, though, they're going to be, I wouldn't say involved, but I'm going to be keeping them up to date with both financials, how much money we're going to need to spend for certain things, construction, marketing, all the above. But as time goes on, and as they see that I'm getting a hang of it and I know what I'm doing, they're gonna just let me rock and let me go. And they're excited to watch more than they are to take part in, because they've got their own stuff going on. So at first they're gonna want to hear what's going on, but they're ready to see me go.
Awesome. Well, in closing, this is kind of the time I want to kind of turn it over to you to say, one, why Boca? Right. And then 2, what should a potential member expect when coming? Like, why should I sign up
Sure.
to become a founding member of ISI in Boca?
I think that the opportunities in Boca are endless. There aren't too many of this kind of boutique fitness there. And I think with the population in the Boca Del Rey area, the amount of potential there for everybody to succeed and get healthier is sky's the limit. And when you walk into any of the ISIs that are going to be in Boca, the energy is going to be through the roof, and you're going to have fun while getting a kick-ass workout in. It's going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. All right, Steve. Well, thanks again for taking some time.
Thank you.
We're excited to see where you go. 8 locations.
Yes, sir.
But we're going to start with 1 and we're going to kill it, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right. Thanks again.
Thank you.